What are the most profitable side hustles? In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the most profitable side hustles and where to look to find them. You're going to be shocked. It's right in front of you. So the three things I want to talk about and where to find the most profitable side hustle is, number one, where do you start? So where do you start? What should you be doing? Number two, which is probably the biggest challenge for beginners, is what do you charge? How do you start your pricing model? And then number three, what's the basic infrastructure? What's the most minimum that you need to start with so you can preserve all your profit and not spend as much? I want you to make it, and then I want you to learn to start investing it. So where do you start? So I'm going to start with the simple, your skill sets. What are you already good at? What does somebody already pay you for? So at the end of the video, I have what's called a skill set analyzer. So we're going to go through a skill set analyzer, and I have 1,000 business ideas, cash machine ideas, I call them. So at the end, I'm going to give you all of those goodies. But right now, I want you just to make a list right now. In fact, why don't you just put it in the comments? Let's be interactive about this. What are the top 2 or 3 things that you enjoy doing that you could be paid to do? And for a lot of you, don't leave things as simple as you love to cook, you like to garden, you love tutoring, you love helping people, I'm going to give it a name, like a concierge. There's a lot of money in the time of people's life between assisted living, where they actually have to move into a home, and independent living. So let's just call you an independent living concierge. I just made that up. So literally being able to, some people call it an adult daycare, I guess, but being able to check on somebody, play cards with them, take them to run errands, help them walk their dog. Believe me, there is so much money in that category. What do you like to do? Right now, give me at least 1 or 2 or 3. Give me some comments. What do you love to do that you could put a business around? Now, when do you start? Right now. Right now is a great time to start. How do you charge for these things? Right? So number 2, how do you charge? Well, number 1, you're going to go to this lovely thing called the internet. Somebody's already doing what you want to do or close enough. So if you're in that independent, concierge business, look at nannies, look at adult nannies. Believe me, there are such a things. There's adult daycares. There are literally things where, where people are already charging for that. I'm going to skip over to some other categories where I know a lot of men would like to be. Handyman services. I have a client actually in Chicago. She's got an amazing business. It's called Hubby for Hire. So basically the honey-do list that never gets done, she and her husband and now a bunch of their firefighter friends will come in and they'll do all of those chores for you, all those honeydews for you. Whether you like, yard work, lawn work, holiday work. Holiday work is enormous amounts of money, and it's not long term. You're going to put up Christmas lights, you're going to take them down. You're going to go shopping for somebody, you're going to wrap, you're going to be all done. So there's a lot of things like, what do you love to do that you could easily make money? What makes it profitable in these categories and how you price is, I want you to price to the average, if not higher, because I want you just to be that person that's going to give high touch. So don't be the cheapest. Right? Because cheap to a lot of people, especially people like me that are buyers, cheap means substandard. Like I look at people who want to do massage, right? If your massage is in the 50, 60, 70 range, it's probably not good because great massage therapists are at least in the hundreds. They're 100, 120, 150. The other thing about pricing, and this again is going to the profitability, is if you have to subcontract it, is there enough margin for you to keep some of the money? And that's in every category, from personal training to gardening. I mean, if you subcontract everything and you actually don't do the work, is there enough margin that you actually can get more? See, my theory and my principle, ever since I was 17 and started a personal training company, is I was always good at going out and getting the business, where a lot of my personal trainers didn't know how to get enough business. So then I would sub to them, right, at a lower rate, 35% less rate. So if they charged, say, 100 an hour, I'd pay them 65. I kept the 35 because I got the business. So mine was always a big volume game. I played profitability on I got a lot of business and I subcontracted a lot of it. Yes, there's more leadership and there's more management, but there's a lot more money. If you're going to do the work yourself, I would still price that way, right? I tell all my clients, price as if you're not going to do the work, because there might be an emergency in your life. You don't want to give the money back and do refunds because you're not available. You want to price as if you're a business, and businesses price as if they're going to sub. right? So that's a massive rule. That's like a $1 trillion tip. Write that down. So what do? Do what you're amazing at. Do what's simple. Margin properly. Price it properly. So before I go to the absolute, if you had to make money today, what would you do? Let's talk about the basic infrastructure. For businesses, I really want you incorporated. If you're serious about being a wealth builder, serious about being a millionaire, it's not a lot of money to get incorporated in the state that you live and put the business in it. The reason is you get all the deductions. And then, of course, whatever the local licenses or sales tax license if you're selling a product, that's the most minimum that you have to get done. Do you need to get incorporated by the tax year end? You don't have to. You do have to do your local tax licenses and things like that. Make sure you set up some bookkeeping. QuickBooks is always just an easy software that you can just track your money in and money out. Just simple stuff. Right now, you're just testing if you really want to have a side hustle. The profitability comes when you start your pricing and hiring a team. Now, if you just needed to make money today, what would you do? Like your fastest way. And I can tell you, I tell kids this all the time, and frankly, I tell adults, is you're going to ask somebody what you can do to help them. It's that simple. You're going to go to another business person and say, what jobs do you have? And now we're not talking about a long-term thing. We're saying today, if you needed to make money, could you help somebody with their landscaping? Could you mow their lawn? Could you help someone clean their house? Could you help somebody do something in your neighborhood immediately for cash? And I promise you, it's not like the sexy stuff to do, but it is immediate. Serve somebody else's life and you will always make some money. My son is a world-class skier. When he comes home to Lake Tahoe for the holidays, he'll take on ski lessons, give people ski lessons. You can pay at the mountain $350 an hour. You can pay him, I don't know what he'll charge now, $100, $150, $200 an hour. He does tutoring when he wants extra money. So I have trained my kids since they were little. If they want extra money, what can they do? My daughter, one of our neighbors has some chickens. She goes over and handles and takes care of his chickens. If you needed money, what would you do? And you want to have that tool. So on the days you say, I want an extra $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, you can actually go make the money like that. So being profitable is a mindset, it's an action set, and you can do it. Anyone has the ability to make money. So when I'm talking about your pricing and your margin and your profitability, I can promise you, especially those of you that are in the more beginning stages, and I'm saying beginning 1 to 3 years beginning entrepreneur, really be careful, especially women. Don't hire your friends and family. Hire a skill set. So you got to strengthen your strengths and hire your weaknesses. So as you're looking at what you need to do, a company requires these things. It requires some marketing, requires sales, requires accounting, requires fulfillment, customer service, operations, technology. So if your friends and family just say, hey, we're all going to pitch in, it gets really messy. I can tell you, I have not seen a lot of them stand and not become profitable because everybody fights when the money comes, and if it's not defined who did what to create the sale and it's really clear descriptions. I mean, I contract all my subcontractors are contracted very specifically, very clear exhibits of what they're going to do to produce. So be very careful in these beginning stages. I'm talking years 1 to 3. If you want to stay profitable, stay systematic, stay structured. Let me coach you. Do not just hire your friends and family. That would be a massive mistake for most of you. 99.999. I think that's most of you. Now, in the description below, I have my 1,000 cash machine ideas, I call them. They're side hustle ideas, business ideas, whatever you want to call them, but 1,000 different things you could do to make money. So you have no excuse. And then I also gave you my skill set analyzer. So just spend a few minutes, take my skill set analyzer. When you hit submit, it will take you to an application to see if you actually want to make over 100,000 or more in a business. We know how to do it. We actually guarantee it in 365 days. So I'll see you on the other side of the application.